Okay, let's just skip ahead, I guess. There we go. We can find pieces. Oh, we're still early, which is good. Sorry, that's taking me a little bit. I didn't quite understand what's going on here. But luckily, we didn't miss anything because they did the weird stinger thing at the start. Oh, I've done this wrong. There we go. Just turns out it's Tekken. Team Ninja! Wait, what would be happening at Team Ninja right now? Is this new? Oh, wait, no, it's the recent game, right? Forgotten what it's called now. Oh, right, yeah, I forgot about lights. So many things I've forgotten. There we go. The Dynasty Warriors, that's what it is, yeah. And this is a brand new exclusive game for Xbox.
The Dark Dragon, youngest of the divine dragon gods, wreaked havoc across the world.
I wonder if this is somehow Ninja Gaiden.
Through the efforts of a sole ninja.
It is Ninja Gaiden!
However, the Dark Dragon's husk remained.
It's Ninja Gaiden!
This husk fell an endless downpour of cursed rain.
Unless it's Strider, but I highly doubt it. Oh, is this a new version of Ninja Gaiden? It has to be, right?
Commencing mission.
Platinum Games, yo! This looks this already feels like Revengeance to me. We got a Revengeance styled Ninja Gaiden game. I remember when people said that Platinum Games is not what it used to be, and yet it's still here. It looks like Revengeance. Like, a lot of this just looks straight up like Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Unless it is Revengeance too, somehow. I doubt it, but we'll see. You could. Okay. He got a giant sword. He got an even bigger sword. Izanuki drop. It's two ninjas. We got two Ninja Gaidens. Ninja Gaiden, not Gaiden. Sorry, isn't it? Ninja Gaiden, yeah. We got Ryu Hayabusa and new Ryu Hayabusa.
Fuck off, Hayabusa. I will execute my mission.
He does kind of look like Ninja Gaiden 4. Oh, we get a nice looking statue.
10年以上大変お待たせしました。最強の忍者となり、容赦なく襲い来る敵に挑むハイスピードアクション、忍者ガイデンのナンバリング最新作
Oh, that's cool.
発表させていただきました。本作はプラチナゲームズさんとの協業で開発を進めています。
This is sick. This is super sick.
プラチナゲームズさんのアクションゲームというジャンルにおける実績は
This is not what I was expecting today.
ニアオートマタなど素晴らしいアクションタイトルを生み出してこられました。忍者ガイデン4というタイトルを10年以上の時を超えて新たに皆様にお届けするにあたり、より多くの方に新鮮な気持ちでプレイしていただけるよう、新たな世界を新主人公
Master Ninja protagonist Yakumo. He kind of reminds me. This isn't Persona 6. It isn't, but it's definitely it's Ninja Gaiden with Platinum Games. I didn't know I'd want this, but I do. This is definitely like Metal Gear Solid 2 or like DMC 5, where they're trying to expand on the heroes that you could have in the game.
邪魔をするな。
Okay, so we heard the English voices, and this is the first time we're hearing the Japanese voices.
荒廃した首都東京が舞台となっています。この雨は黒龍がまだ生きている。
How you doing today, Amadeus? Happy Fast
雨が
Day.
止まない限り東京に安寧は訪れません。今作の新主人公であ
Our new
り
hero.
ハヤブサと対をなすカラス一門に所属するヤクモが
That's a cool way of going about it. I like the idea of it being a rival group. You can never go wrong with a rival's clan being the main
ガイデ
thing.
ンシリーズで描かれてきたダークでハードな世界観は継承し、そこにさらに危機を感じさせる要素として呪いやより混沌とした景観のデザインを取り入れています。ステージプレイ中に街が
Welcome back, DMC4. Yeah. But considering that DMC, they worked on Nier and where they've gotten really good at differentiating combat for different characters, I think the only time they weren't... Hi, Danish Diana. Faz is doing a stream? Yes, I am. Sorry it took me a little while to get started. I was just talking with peeps.
立体的に自由度の増した危険に満ちたステージを忍具やシリーズおなじみの体術など忍者アクションを駆使して乗り越えていくことになります。レールアクション、スイングアクションなどのダイナミックで爽快なシチュエーションを多く追加しました。これら以外にも様々なシチュエーションやチャレンジ、隠されたアイテムなどを用意しており、ステージが進む
Okay, this game looks pretty cool. It's Ninja Gaiden. We've not seen a Ninja Gaiden game since, I think, the 360? I don't think we've seen a new Ninja Gaiden game since then. I wonder if they're going to do like a remastering of the first three. Tomoko underscore
新しい主
Nishii.
人公のヤクモは竜ハヤブサに次ぐ新たな町人です。彼にはまだ若さも残っていますが、カラス一門を背負う天才忍者でもあり、忍者外伝シリーズにおける忍者の頂点、竜と肩を並べる次世代の町人たり得る人物と
A
して
dual
デザイ
sword
ンしてい
user
ます
versus a single sword user. That's cool. This is like last one was old enough to be on the Wii U. Yeah, I think the last one was. And he's got like a super long sword.
黒竜の封印を守る竜神島や
Stop making me feel old. I'm. It's okay, Danish Diana. You are old.
そしてもちろんシリーズおなじみの魔人も登場します。また現時点では公開していませんが、新たなキャラクターやシリーズファンの方に喜んでいただける人物も登場しますので、続報にご期待ください。
That looks so cool. If that comes out this
目
year,
にも止まらぬスピードで敵との攻防を繰り広げることができます。
I want this. This just reminds me of Revengeance. Honestly, like the whole gameplay style just reminds me of Revengeance. This isn't like Nier,
ダイナミックな攻撃
especially with some of the presentation styles like this.
進化した一対他の戦闘を可能にしました。ヌエの方ではこれまでの忍者外伝にはない広範囲かつ一撃必殺の攻撃となっており、
But I think there's meant to be more bloody.
が長く続く
or
戦況を一気に覆すことができます。
I do like his Raven cape.
1対1の戦闘における比率きも健在です。プレイヤー同様、敵もガードや回避をしてくるため、緊張感のあるフェアな戦闘を味わうことが
I
でき
do
ます。
appreciate that this game, like Ninja Gaiden. Unless we talk about Yaiba, this isn't your mom's Ninja Gaiden. When all the Ninja Gaiden games were never your mom's one. They were all just as bad as each other in terms of like difficulty. But this feels like all of a sudden, like they're not afraid to be a bit more relentless.
調整など細部にわたり日々議論させていただき、会社の垣根を越えた密なやり取りをさせていただいています。本作の主人公であるヤクモは竜とは一味違うアクションを有していますが、
I'm surprised they didn't bring the protagonist from Yaiba as a character in this. Does anyone remember Yaiba? So they made like a spin-off series with a character from the Ninja Gaiden series where it was more cartoonish, and they modeled one of the character after Jessica Nigri, or the other way around. Like Jessica Nigri was like a huge part of why that character looked the way that she did. She was also doing a voice acting for it as well. And she basically looked like the main character looked like basically a stylized a comic book version of Nero from DMC from DMC4. Of course, the Izunugi drop. Yeah! Sorry, not Izunugi drop. Izuna drop.
シリーズおなじみのアクションも駆使しつつ新アクションを織り交ぜた
Walaikum salam B. How are you doing, man? Happy Thursday.
忍者ガイデンシリーズに色濃く残っている歯ごたえやグレードの
Yeah, this is Ninja Gaiden. But imagine Ninja Gaiden was made by the devs of Rising Revengeance. I remember. I remember when people said Platinum Games doesn't seem like the same as it used to be. If this is what Platinum Games is now, then I think Platinum Games might be fine. Might be fine. It's the same ultimate problem with a lot of
初めてプレイする方でも存分に楽しめる作品になっておりますのでぜひ発売
let's just hope the game I wonder if we're gonna get it says when the game launches, but I wonder if we're gonna get a new fall 2025. I was thinking how many years would it be, but I guess not. I see people with Goku figures. That's sick.
さて、本
Other
日
than
お
the fact that
伝え
my
したい
sister-
発表はそれだけではありません。こちらをご覧ください。
Oh, okay. I was expecting a second one. Dynasty Warriors? What else could it be? Are we gonna get a remastering of the first three games? It has to be, right? It feels like something you would do, unless it's DOA all of a sudden. Bloody combat. So this is definitely the first three games at the very least. First three were already remastered, bro. Wait, when did I miss this? I feel like I've missed this announcement. Jazak Laibs.
My path leads through the land of the dead.
God, shut up, Amadeus. I'm trying my best. This looks way too Sigma Trilogy, yeah, including a port of the Wii U one. This looks a little too new. Oh my god! They're telling Genshin Impact to go back to hell! Is Sigma 2? Ninja Gaiden 2... Ninja Gaiden Black 2?
オリジナル版は2008年に Xbox 360で発売し、バイオレンスな表現とハイスピードなバトルを皆様にお楽しみいただいた。
Ooh, okay, I'm not familiar with this one.
忍者ガイデン2ブラックではオリジナル版の表現に立ち戻り、アンリアルエンジン5を用いてグラフィックを大幅に刷新。忍者ガイデン2の完
So
全
they will port everything over from Ninja Gaiden
美麗なグラ
2.
フィックでお楽しみいただける
Oh, right, I think I have
リー
this.
ハヤブサに加え、アヤネ、モミジ、レイチェルもプレイブルキャラクターとして登場します。
Okay, the game,
本
the
日コンソール
the live stream is struggling with this.
Xbox ゲームパスでこの後すぐに発売となり
Oh,
ます。
that's actually kind of cool, honestly.
忍者ガイデンシリーズを長年応援いただいている皆様はもちろんのこと、本日忍者ガイデンを知っていただいた皆様も忍者ガイデン4の発売前にぜひ本作を
So
お楽しみ
Two
ください。
Black is on Game Pass and it's coming to Game Pass.
今年はチーム
Sorry,
忍者
Two Black is remastered and coming to Game Pass. That's my understanding.
忍者ガイデン4を含め
The Year of the Ninja.
イヤーオブザ忍者となります。
Finally, because the Year of the Shadow has finally ended, we can finally do all the other years. Year of Mario, Year of Ninja, Year of Eevees. What other years we got? Black was basically a hard version of the original that came out on the Xbox OG. So it's a remaster of a remaster. Damn. Compulsory Games did Night South of Midnight, I believe it is. We were just talking about this with Ryan. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited to see I'm really excited to see Platinum Games involved in projects. If this is kind of where they're at right now, where they just end up becoming like, it's kind of the vision that Kamiya mentioned way back when. He said they're kind of the mercenaries of the industry. It's like if you need to inject stylish combat, Platinum Games is the place to do it. So far there isn't. I don't know if there's many other studios that kind of do what it does.
We draw inspiration from the landscape.
At least not with 3D action.
For South of Midnight, our third-person action adventure game, the story and characters bring a folkloric Deep South to life. This gave us a chance to explore Southern Gothic themes with a dark fantasy twist. So while our protagonist Hazel is at the
I
forefront
think they've
of our
improved the
story,
FPS as well.
it's the
Oh yeah,
more
there's definitely an
elements
improvement on the
and
FPS.
larger-than-life creatures that will leave a mark on her journey.
But
of growth.
it's too black, but it is too. Is it too strong? I get that reference. Is this how it's gonna be right now? This is what I have to deal with. Everyone's just on the internet at the same time. I guess I'm gonna have to go down a quality check. I'm sorry, get everybody. I can't pick the live stream life. Jesus. Jeebus!
I'm just saying.
Hazel, please.
We might need some help. I might need some help. While you're out helping everybody else.
Hazel.
Okay, I'm gonna go down. Well, yeah, I wanted to. I guess we're gonna stick to 720. Faz doesn't get referenced because he's beaten a sick.
Hazel may
Shut
have
up,
the journey as a
Tez.
typical 19-year-old, but disastrous events will push her into a darkly magical world where she'll learn who she really is and how to tap into weaving, an ancient magical power that redefines her trajectory in life.
Is this like old school
The land
silk weaving?
itself chooses Hazel as a weaver. Someone who can see beyond the surface and tap
Do you know what this reminds me of? Like in terms of games coming out that are like kind of brand new and maybe even out there, especially when you look at Unknown 9. It reminds me of early Xbox One days, because that's when Recore came out. Faz, can you save your street cred? What was I referencing? Sonic Rush. No. Supersonic level. Too black, too strong. Martin Luther King, I think it
As
is.
Hazel discovers her power, the world gradually
Or is it Malcolm
shifts
X? I get
into
confused between the
the
two.
surreal,
As in who
revealing
said that
creatures
particular
from
quote.
old folktales actually exist.
You up here, my salvation.
Among them is good old Catfish, the storyteller who becomes both the guide and companion to Hazel across the game.
It ain't every day I hear about a new weaver such as
Damn.
you. Would you care?
I'm having struggles right now. It was Malcolm X fake. I got confused between the two, okay? I'm not like an expert on public figures of history.
Catfish.
Oh god, yeah, it's not working out for me. I think everyone's just watching
Lost
it now.
at the beginning.
Everyone's finally caught up.
All of Hazel's arsenal.
Okay, let me refresh this. Oh, come on. They didn't ask for this.
Progress on a journey.
Okay, let me
unfolds,
switch the
Hazel will
thing
master
down.
new
I'm gonna have to go to like
using them
pretty
to
low
traverse
just to
the
keep this
world,
consistent.
New weaving
There we go.
abilities.
Bitrate might be terrible, but at least we can watch it.
Traverse the world, conjure objects, and confront adversaries.
I'm downloading 7 reverse Wi-Fi.
Combat
Sorry.
is about
Get off my Wi-Fi, Amadeus.
enemy archetypes known as Aints. The manifestations of corruption Hazel encounters.
These
kind of remind me of
until she unravels them, destroying them in the process.
yeah. I really wish I could see some of the details, honestly, but I can't do much about it. I guess when it comes to Sega, all he cares about is his precious Jet Set Radio. I appeared in one reaction compilation, and all of a sudden I was strictly Jet Set Radio. What about the metaphor one, B?
Hazel can counter these threats with agile melee abilities to execute powerful combos, jump attacks, and charge attacks. But close combat is risky and can backfire because Aints have powerful defensive abilities. Mastering your magical skills become the key to gaining the upper hand in combat. Push, pull, and weave are some of the spells at your disposal that give you a tactical advantage during a fight. Timing is everything. Pull distant enemies close to start melee combos, push them back to interrupt and stun their attack. Then press the advantage with follow-up strikes. Spells interact uniquely with each enemy type, creating dynamic combat scenarios, especially when facing multiple types of opponents.
I do like
at the same
there's
time.
a nice sense of
Once
impact
you're
to the
there,
attacks.
Enemies can be unraveled,
If anything, I remember after your Persona 3.
which has the added benefit of providing elbows and reducing
Shut up, P.
ability cooldown.
Stop making stuff up.
If you play your combos right, you can enhance Hazel's combat readiness and keep on chaining her abilities. As Hazel progresses in the
Amadeus
game,
was
she
literally the
unlocks new
reason.
moves and
Shut
improved
up.
abilities, and you will have to
Shut up,
decide
both
which
of you.
areas to prioritize. The upgrades will change how you approach combat, like enhancing area of effect attacks, or refining push and pull skills to improve precision and make them feel more rewarding. The combat system is fast and responsive, built around chaining attacks, landing precise strikes, and unraveling enemies.
You mind if I take a look around? You can see every place old Molly terrorized and more. Now for the low, low price of $1.
In Hazel's search for her mother, you'll explore multiple.
Oh, at least we know why she's here
fueled
now.
by a mythical creature with their own Southern Gothic history. You'll gradually uncover the backstories of these beings, once human or animal, who were transformed by tragedy. Their secrets waiting to be discovered.
Oh
As
wow,
a
that's
weaver,
painful
Hazel
looking.
heals these creatures by collecting fragments of haunted memories. We call these echoes, which reveal each creature's past. Hazel must experience these echoes before she can mend them.
I feel like I'm getting like Psychonauts vibes to it.
We design each region to reflect the creature.
I know this is
that
gonna always be
we
like, oh, this reminds me of this other thing, and this reminds me of this other thing. But I like the it's the presentation and stuff.
Composed for each one. While not all encounters lead to direct combat, Hazel will need to face mythical creatures in epic confrontation before she can heal them. Our boss encounters and gameplay sequences also reflects the uniqueness of each creature.
I do want to see more of a
center around
story
specific thematic.
trailer for this, just so we have a better understanding. Because at least the visuals look really good.
As the encounters progress, the musical theme builds up, cranking the tension alongside the fight.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
Not first, but it's cool still. With this specific style, you don't get to hear it a lot.
Creatures is inspired by Southern folklore and lead to climactic battles.
We got a long journey ahead.
South of Midnight unfolds as a hero's journey, and as Hazel, you'll travel through a tapestry of Southern-inspired lands.
Oh wow, that was a little loud on my
Abysmal swamps
ears.
To flooded farmlands, to the Appalachian peaks. In our magical South, decaying buildings reclaimed by nature stand moments away from a hungry Rugal. And as Hazel delves deeper, reality bends ever more toward the fantastical.
The history, landscape, and folklore of the American Deep South fill our world, and our team has infused the game with thoughtful details and environmental storytelling, like our bottle trees and haint blue porches, which are said to ward off evil spirits. The weight of the past emerges as central themes, which you can see through old abandoned buildings and businesses struggling to survive. As you explore, you'll meet locals who stayed behind even in the face of a hurricane.
So I'm the last person left here. All those damn haints. This part of the river's filthy with them.
Artistically,
How is
we're
he able to
staying true the
survive?
Moody Compulsion signature style. But this time, we're using a handcrafted approach inspired
I'm wondering
by
what
stop
Compulsion
motion
Games
animation,
also did
which
stylistically.
allows our team to bring a distinct personality and tone into every prop and character. Because this folklore is open to visual interpretation, we embrace the freedom to reimagine these creatures and their stories, to adapt how they look, and to craft our own version of a fantastical deep south.
Yeah, I thought this might be the case. It kind of reminds me of like a puppet show type thing. I was saying to Ryan earlier that it reminds me of early point-and-click games.
We love to craft around central themes. We're lucky to have talent across all our disciplines that collaborate to give South of Midnight such a unique personality. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into South of Midnight. We're thrilled to announce that the game will launch on April 8th, and pre-orders are now available on Xbox and Steam.
Wow, it's coming out this year. I thought we might be a little bit longer than this, honestly. April 8th, it's coming out this year. 2 games that they've announced coming out this year. It doesn't have a release date for Ninja Gaiden 4, but it's nice to see a release date, like it being intended for this year. So, what's your thoughts on South of Midnight? I think out of so excited for this. Oh, this one's Sandfall?
Bonjour everyone. We are Sandfall Interactive and welcome to our manor. We are a small studio based in Montpellier, France, working on our first game, Clair Obscur Expedition.
I don't know why I thought it was something else. I forgot who this lot. The other game with Ben started it.
Our Our grand adventure in game development actually started.
I've forgotten who was like the original developers for this, because they came off another game, right?
Fully leverage the latest tech, refresh the genre with new features, and took place in a compelling world.
Yes,
I knew I needed
stylistic.
to realize my dream.
Stylistic
First,
RPG.
I turned to a programmer and you would get it.
Guillaume and I started trading ideas right away, and that quickly turned into trading files back and forth. Soon, I was creating the first prototypes of the reactive turn-based system, combining real-time offense and defense element, and a cinematic battle camera system. Things really clicked when we tested the first version of those features. We felt we had something both challenging and fun.
As Tom and I went back and forth and iterated on game elements, a vision started to come together, and I shared it with an old friend from university.
Guillaume and I are both passionate gamers, and when he describes the
It does feel like a heist movie type thing. So I brought in this guy, and then I brought in this next guy.
I believe that in
So-
video games, success
Ah,
always
me.
starts with a strong creative vision. And we had that defined by 3 core elements. A story with great emotional depth, gameplay that innovates on the classics we love,
I'll have to come back to this
and a
just
world that
so we
is
watch this
completely
in
original,
not
beautiful,
really bad
and
FPS and bitrate.
We founded Central Interactive
Too
on
bad that
its
it's like
tenets.
peak
A group
usage
of
time.
friends with a shared vision and the drive to make something great.
This too is your legacy. Core to every great RPG.
The moment I
is a
hear Ben
compelling
Star,
story.
you know what I'm gonna say.
And Guillaume and I spent 4 years intensively developing and refining ours. And that started with the hook. 67 years ago, a massive slumbering paintress and a monolith appeared with no warning.
I like
Once a year,
how-
the paintress wakes and paints a number on the
This
monolith.
isn't exclusive to
Everyone who
Xbox,
has
is it?
passed that age is erased. Every year that number ticks down, and everyone dies younger and younger. Expeditions depart to kill the paintress, determined to fight until their final breath, but none have ever returned. Our story follows Expedition 33.
Expeditioners, we honor your dedication.
Guillaume and I knew early on that we didn't want to focus on good versus evil. What's interesting to us are people who, yes, are flawed, but who care deeply about each other. And conflicts arise because they have different perspectives on what needs to be done.
I'm sorry about earlier.
We wanted our story to feel dark and mature, with adult characters who feel like real people with real experiences.
I'm always missing something that everyone else just gets.
The heart of the story is about overcoming an existential threat while struggling with loss and grief. And it's rooted in the characters' relationships, both to each other and to themselves.
What are we gonna do, huh? Tell me. What are we gonna do?
In a world like this,
That's okay. He
how does
sounds
one
completely
stay hopeful
different.
or
He sounds
realize
completely
their
different from
fate?
Clive.
What duty do we owe to each other or to ourselves? These questions are deeply personal to me, and they permeate the story behind the story.
Know that Lumiere fights with you. Tomorrow comes Expedition 33.
The characters all have their own motivations and perspectives. Gustave and Lune are deeply invested in the expedition, even if they fight all the time. To them, the mission is tied not only to their family, it's central to their identity and purpose.
Protocol doesn't cover every contingency. You know that.
Contrast that with Ciel, whose darkest days have already happened.
What are the stars whispering to you? Actually, I'm the one whispering to them. It's something my dad and I used to do.
And Maëlle, who cares more about really living her life, not just living longer.
Gustave, are you real?
It's not all dark, though. Along the way, they meet various colorful NPCs and recruit Monoko, who is a friendly but kinda bloodthirsty philosopher and a fully playable character. He has a really cool battle mechanic where he can turn into the enemies he defeats.
What are you doing?
Just need your foot. Aha!
Okay.
Very, very old and has seen
Okay,
many
that's
expeditions.
kind of mental. That's actually kind of mental.
Playful beings who view battle as a form of meditation. They're fun and sort of ridiculous. You'll meet Monoko.
Ah, the music
many
is
of their
actually
visuals across
really
the
coming out.
And of course, there is Esquier, who is one of the oldest and lore-wise the most powerful creatures in the verse.
Esquier is that powerful?
He will be your mount and help you travel to secret corners of the world. And if you bring him back his special stones, you can unlock abilities for him to access new areas of the world and find exciting secrets.
I'm strong, but I'm not that strong.
Everyone has their
I'm
own
fragile,
reason
but
for
not that
joining the
fragile.
expedition, and each of them has their own story arc and resolution that we think players will really connect with.
I've got like an old school. Maybe I'm crazy. Is this like a really old school Final Fantasy with hyper stylization?
Reactive turn-based system takes the traditional turn-based battle mechanic we love and adds real-time reaction.
It play.
Greater intensity and dynamism. During enemy turns, you can negate
Unless it's
more
just
damage
all
by
RPGs,
dodging
which then I
or
guess I
firing
understand.
at the right time. But balancing turn-based with real-time mechanics took a long time to get right. During initial playtests, turn-based players often found the real-time elements too hard. Some of us are still traumatized by enemies from back then. We've done a lot of rebalancing since, and with a lot of iteration, we ultimately came up with a formula that we're proud of. Players who are good at
This is the
real-time can
FF
take
people
more
who
risks,
won't
and
shut up
others
about
can
wanting the
counterbalance
series
with
to go back to
items and
turn-based
strategies.
and yet still won't buy.
A big part of that formula lies in the many ways you can customize your character. We spend a lot of time designing each character's unique mechanics and their custom skill trees. Our philosophy is making every type
Rebirth!
of player viable,
Rebirth!
so everyone can have fun with how they play the game. Each character has a unique mechanic. Mel switches between stances which can ultimately boost defense or power. I personally like to make Mel the protector of the group, but I'm pretty much the only one at the studio who plays her that way. Most people play her as a glass cannon with Gustav's complementary skills. The characters can also equip hundreds of passive effects, which in our game are called Lumina. Every character has more than 20 unique skills in their skill tree and hundreds of passive effects they can gain through Lumina and weapons. So there are a ton of builds and playstyle to explore. Needless to say, we can't wait to see how you choose to play and what kinds of build you'll design that we probably never even imagined.
Our story is set in the French fantasy.
A new
world,
person
and
enters the chat.
I'm really excited to design something unique. Every level has its own color and texture identity. For example, the Gestrel Village is an early area in the game where players can enjoy a fun break. We wanted something that feels chaotic, grungy, and toy-like. It's basically a bazaar. Everything's disorganized, chaos everywhere, huts are unsafe, built without much thought. It's a place where anyone could fight you at any point, which is pretty much what the Gestrels are like. The Gestrel Village is hidden inside the ancient sanctuary. The ideas here were forest, labyrinth.
They're all doing push-ups. They're all gym bros.
Place, like an old graveyard of Gestrels, or forgotten wooden toys in a box, with two main colors, red and white. I wanted to make it feel cozy, hidden from danger, with traps and labyrinths in case enemies get in. Same process with the characters. Monoko came in a single concept. I thought of a monkey-like body, white fur with a black and red flat mask.
Ladies.
It reminds me. Oh.
Could I?
Ow!
Definitely
Okay.
a Gestrel.
For Escape, we needed a cuddly companion to take us around the world. I thought instantly of a giant inflatable balloon and old Victorian pillows with many intricate motifs. We start with the core themes and ideas, and the visuals grow organically from there.
From the very start of the project, there was one thing that we absolutely wanted to bring back from older JRPGs. A feature we really loved, but is very rare these days. A completely 3D and navigable world map. Yes, we've got a world map.
Oh, okay.
And it was a real challenge to create, both artistically and technically. And it ended up a lot bigger than we expected. You'll definitely need Esquier's help traveling around. We're super happy with the result, though, as there's a lot of side paths
Thank
and
you.
entire hidden levels. If you want to fight the toughest bosses of the game, you will have to explore. Good luck.
Oh, that one just eats you?
We've poured our hearts and souls into this game for the past 4 years. That's why we're delighted to announce that Expedition 33 launches on April 24th on Xbox Series X and S.
In 2025? Are you sure that's a good idea?
You can already wish
I kind of... Is April just going to be like a really sick month for Xbox right now?
To invite you into the world of Expedition 33. We are a small, passionate team. It's our debut game, and we can't wait for you to discover our story, our world, and our take.
I feel like this should be given its... This is... They cook. This is on everything.
Everyone at Sunfall,
Oh, okay.
Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow comes.
Demain viendra.
Tomorrow comes.
Demain viendra.
Demain viendra.
Tomorrow comes.
Tomorrow, it comes. Oh, it actually did say PC and PS5 on the thing, which is insane. I don't think they've ever done that before on a Xbox Developer Direct. I think this is the first one post the whole we want it to be on everything. We're not going to focus on exclusives as much, and see how that works out for them. Okay, so this is the game that I'm the least worried about.
Of id Software, where more than 30 years ago, a small team of game developers helped define and set a course for first-person shooters. A lot has changed since then, but our team is as passionate as ever. And the most important values at the core of our games, innovation, craftsmanship, and performance, remain a priority for us.
The core point of the game is rip and tear until it is done.
Infused in every aspect of this latest
You keep
installment
going.
in the legendary Doom
I
franchise.
feel like it's a stamina run
It is
playing
an honor to
Doom.
work on this game, to carry on its tradition of creating all-out, groundbreaking levels of fun.
So now, we're excited to share with you a look at our most ambitious game yet. This is Doom: The Dark Ages.
That was so stupid I mouthed the words.
Wow. Hey gang! Hi Jasm! Happy Faz Day, welcome to the stream. This is where we get giant mechs. You got a cave!
In Doom: The Dark Ages, you will feel like the superweapon in the center of a medieval war against hell. Set in a cinematic sci-fi fantasy world full of locations to explore, powerful weapons to unlock, and enemies to conquer. This is a prequel to Doom 2016, and that's given us the opportunity to reimagine every aspect of this experience. So if you're new to the franchise, then Doom: The Dark Ages will be the perfect entry point into the series.
We had an original game, now we're gonna have it before the original game.
Of the game is really a return to form. So let's break it down, starting with the combat. In Doom Eternal, you felt like a fighter jet. In Doom: The Dark Ages, you'll be an iron tank. Heavy, strong, but still fast. A grounded combat system with an emphasis on power over the acrobatics of Doom Eternal.
So it's more like reaction response.
And player movement speed that makes strafing to aim.
Yeah, this looks like looks a lot more like traditional Doom, as in even like the 3D style Doom.
Always. And so for Doom: The
Sorry,
Dark
the
Ages,
original
it's
3D
an
Doom.
all-new world with new tools and new mechanics to master. Let me introduce you to the Shield Saw.
Ah, we first put a sword on a gun and we didn't think it was enough. Have you tried a saw on a shield?
From one input, it's contextual, tons of depth on a single button press. You know, we want
What if
every
Doom?
game to stand on its own.
What if Doom was Captain America?
So in 2016, we asked you to run and gun. In Doom Eternal, it was jump and shoot. And in Doom: The Dark Ages, you're gonna stand and fight.
Shield saw has the same energy as Gunblade. I was thinking of what's it called? The Lancer from Gears of War. I feel like we're not there yet with same energy as Gunblade.
But that's not all. Because if you're gonna stand and fight, then you gotta have something to follow up that opening parry with. How about an iron flail? Or maybe an electrified gauntlet? Or even a Doom spiked mace? That's right, we have 3 melee options that are part of a melee system. All on one input, complete with combos and upgrades. And it's totally awesome. And you can finish off the demons now with an all-new, unsynced, completely in the player's control glory kill system. From any angle, in and out, as you see fit. And it feels amazing. You'll feel unstoppable smashing your way through the horde.
It just, everything feels crunchy.
And that seems like a ton, but that's just 2 inputs. We got one more really important button that we haven't talked about.
That was me in Queen's Blood, Jasmine.
Trigger.
Oh, okay. Just keep firing. It just doesn't stop.
Doom has and always will be all about the guns. And Dark Ages has some of the most ridiculously powerful weapons that we've ever
Do we have the BFG though? Which is the most important gun. You know, this reminds me of the Doom movie. I forgot about that.
Brutal torture machines built to butcher, impale,
Oh god.
and shred the minions of hell with. Only in Doom. That's the mission statement for the design of these never-before-seen, insanely fun-to-use tools of mayhem that only the Slayer has the power to wield. So let's take a look at some extended gameplay footage and see how these.
I feel like this is gonna be like one of the first early levels. I do appreciate that they've waited for us.
Combat loop for Doom: The Dark Ages.
Shield bash! Charging justice! I think a lot of people, I don't know if people are gonna like the speed of this compared to 16 and Eternal, because it's definitely a lot slower than the either two. Like, it's still fast compared. Jasm, check your Twitter DMs.
And under the hood, for the first time in an id game, we've made our combat more approachable and flexible than ever before, with a new difficulty system and
Ooh, nice.
sliders that will allow
I just want to go faster. I want to be the fastest moving tank ever.
whatever fits them best. You can slow things
I'm
down
wondering how
or
fast you can
speed
go with
them
it.
up. It's a Doom for all Slayers.
And the gameplay doesn't end with just the Slayer. We finally have for you, you've been waiting for 2 games now, to get in and pilot your very own 30-story Atlan, which is a mech. It's the size
Oh my god, finally Pacific Rim Doom!
you can beat giant Titan-sized demons to death with your gauntleted fists. And if that wasn't enough, we also have for you your very own fire-breathing, Gatling gun-toting cybernetic dragon. Neither of these are one-and-done features either. They have a full suite of abilities and even mini-bosses. The spectacle is epic. The Power Fantasy is unlike anything we've made it in. And the combat systems behind these features are deep and tons of fun. And as cool as all that is, we know that fans of single-player action games expect more than just great combat to pull them through the experience. So we're excited to share with you not just the gunplay, but the world of Doom: The Dark Ages.
Okay, is this like open world Doom? What if Doom was Breath of the Wild? It doesn't really work with Doom, but imagine.
Dark forests, dungeons, ancient hellscapes, battlefields, and worlds beyond. And through exploration, you'll be unlocking new abilities and godlike powers every step of the way. Now armed with your trusty shield saw, you're gonna cut, leap, and smash your way through environments full of
Famously,
secrets and
Breath of the
treasures.
Wild is the only open world ever
Always
made.
something new waiting to be discovered.
No, I mean, but like, if you say world exploration, it'd be like, imagine for a moment they just made a game that was like the size of Breath of the Wild, but you got to rip and tear the entirety of it.
In this level, you will meet the
And it starts again because the
enemies
Red Moon came or
and save
something.
a city from certain destruction. Explore the medieval battlefield outside the castle walls, seeking out targets and enemy formations along the way to engage with
Doom
as you
never
see fit,
dies.
with any gun you choose.
Oh wow, you could just homing attack a
Explore
shield
what is the
attack,
largest
shield
play
bash.
space ever in a Doom game. discovering secret caves and dungeon-like mines in search of vital resources. You control the pace of the game. Where you go, who you fight, and the objectives you pursue. It's a Doom sandbox full of war and riches. Once you've broken the enemy assault, head back to the main gates because the battle isn't over yet.
We get to fight a giant boy again! Oh, hi guys! Ooh, he looks big.
And the soundtrack to your epic adventures will be composed by the award-winning team at Finishing Move, providing you with a metal soundscape that's loaded with guitars, medieval vibes, and pure adrenaline. You'll feel like you're expanding the legend of the Slayer with every mission you complete.
He seems nice. He
And
does.
Speaking of that legend, the story of Doom the Dark Ages, like everything else in the game, is big. It's a summer blockbuster event with everything on the line, and you are the star of the show. Your power is coveted by your enemies and withheld from your allies. With the Slayer imprisoned at the start of our story, the balance of power between good and evil is shifting, and time is running out. It's a new story and the perfect entry point for new players. It's easier to access now as we've taken the narrative out of the codex and into the cutscenes, featuring new characters.
That's cool. That's such a cool little thing. I love it that you can like have it on the side and you can, that's actually really cool.
It's an action story worthy of the Slayer's legend.
We've got 10 years of making modern Doom games together, and we've done better with every game we've made.
The hope with all this, the goal, is to give
I do
players
appreciate the
an
two people in the
experience
background that are
that's
probably
as fun
just
to play
not talking
as it
to
was
each
to
other.
be, and make something that's good enough to become the best game id has ever made.
But that is for you to decide. When Doom the Dark Ages releases,
Oh wow, it comes out in May! Oh, that's kind of cool. April and May seem stacked. In before they add in another game just for funsies. YouTube!
Can I move?
Oh, I think this is the end. They didn't do the random surprise. That's after my dissertation. We're
You
good.
will feel like the super weapon in the center of a medieval war against hell.
All of Azel's powers are
April and May. This is actually, I really like that this is something they're putting a focus on. And it's not some, with the exception of Ninja Gaiden, everything is coming out in the next 6 months, which is what I think these directs need to pull in a little bit more. It's what I appreciated about the previous developer direct stuff, is that they did have a good variety. Still on the I think my only downsides is what are exclusives, but then again that's not the emphasis for them this year, so we expected that much. But it's nice to see that these are the main focus, like, oh, in April and May time this is what's going on. So it's really, I think it's a really good lineup, good decent action games with 2 RPG games specifically, South of Midnight and Expedition 33. And oh yeah, and Ninja Gaiden 2 Black coming out today is actually pretty fun. But yeah, it's actually, I thought it was a really good direct. Yeah, that was a great direct. I love the focus on people working on the games. It's nice to highlight them. Yes, I do think it's one of the strongest suits for the developer direct. I don't like it being called a direct. I think it is better to give them a distinctive naming convention, because every time you think direct, you will think of the Nintendo ones.